We got space goats, baby.
My favorite. How did you know I was going to go through with that? When I saw that, I was like, seriously?
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Andor-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with Andor Season 1, Episode 4, Aldhani, or Aldhani, I can't remember how you say it. But they have titles now. All 4 episodes have titles now.
What was the other titles?
Casa was the first one, then We Are Who I Am, I don't know, and then Reckoning. But yeah. So I don't know why they
hit. Maybe they didn't name it yet.
No, that's not how that works. I'm pretty sure I understand the first episode called Casa, and they just didn't want to make people think, oh, his real name's actually Casa or something like that. But I'm looking at episodes. That would be Me is the second one, and then Reckoning is the third one. But I don't know. But we've got titles now, so hopefully that moving forward will be more exciting. So this one is Aldhani.
Aldhani.
So we might as well just jump right into it, Drew.
Yeah.
What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
I liked it. I thought it was okay. So first of all, let's just kind of break the ice. So many people don't like this show, and it's very disappointing to hear that from like the fan universe.
We gotta just let it go. We gotta let it germinate. People
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. If you guys don't like the show yet, just be in the moment, get through it, because we know it's building up to something big.
And even if it's not building up to something big, even though yes, it will. But this is like a spy, espionage, political show. It's supposed to be different than everything you've ever seen. And yes, we're gonna get cameos and we got this episode of all the episodes. We got the most Easter eggs. Holy crap, we got Easter eggs.
Yeah,
it's Easter, literally like Easter, trying to find eggs, around your house or in your backyard or something, right? Church or something. Tons of Easter eggs, and it's just very. I think it's.
Well, Jerica said perfect in the chat. She said people need to learn the art of patience.
That's a line in the show too.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's intentional.
Probably. Knowing Jerica. It's like literally I saw a very popular YouTuber and his friend's like, I'm quitting Star Wars. This is dumb. And then he agreed, and I was like, you guys are so annoying.
Who's that?
I'm not gonna say their name.
Just say it.
You know it.
Because I haven't really watched a lot of
what you're
literally the main guy.
Yeah,
really he doesn't like it.
No, he doesn't. They're like he doesn't like it because his friend doesn't like it, in the sense of they want Jedi, they want Force, they want it doesn't feel like Star Wars. I'm like, this is not what this
People
is.
Need to get up.
That's. I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's like this is what the show is, and the beginning of Rogue One, if you break that down as that beginning half of Rogue One, it was a little slower pace. There was a lot of movement, a lot of story built, and that's what they're doing. But they have more time, so obviously they're gonna be more intentional of the time that they're doing, and it's gonna take a little bit. But it doesn't make it a bad show, and like you said, Jeremiah, it's very political, very spy, very I don't know. maybe not spy is the right word, like heisty
Well,
feel.
well, there is a heist, yes, coming up that's gonna
Yeah.
happen,
Like,
and
I don't know.
I
It for me, I enjoyed this episode a lot. I mean, I was happy that we were able to go to one of the coolest planets in all of Star Wars. And the way it looked visually was amazing, I thought. I thought it looked really cool, really clean, and to get character buildup of old characters throughout Star Wars and figuring out their story and the fall and like the rise of the rebels, I think we're seeing it from the base level. And I thought this episode was very very like a brand new fresh air compared to like the last three episodes. They were cool, but this one was really cool. I really enjoyed this episode a
I
lot.
I think it seems like what they're gonna be doing is 3-episode arcs.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
like, we knew they were gonna do that for season 2, but, like, this one, I feel like is definitely gonna be that as well. I think these first
Yeah.
6 episodes are gonna be relatively, like, we can tell they're all within the next week's time.
Yep.
But, like, I think then the last 6 episodes, they're gonna be there's gonna be a little time jump, like, less like, maybe, like, 6 months or something like that, 9 months or something. Um,
hmm
but, I think this is visually the best looking show we've gotten. It's better
For
than
sure.
Mando and Obi-Wan because I think just with the fact that they're not in the volume, like,
hmm
as much as, like, the volume is groundbreaking and can give so many great advantages, like, they're actually filming on set and at location on location, and
Yeah.
it just seems more realistic, much bigger. Yes, there's
It
probably
feel
tons of green screen, but, like,
Yeah, but it feels bigger. You're right, Jeremiah. To me, it felt big. Like I don't
yeah.
know why. It just felt like a really big thing. And I don't know, the visual effects of the show, like, yeah, there's like her ship kind of looked a little
Oh,
kind
I
of
didn't
took me
even
out.
notice that.
It for me, I mean, it might look different. Like I watched it on a monitor, so it might look
Yeah, I'm
different.
watching 4K now,
Yeah,
Drew.
yeah, chill, chill. So like, I don't know, like for me, I think overall this episode I liked it a lot. I thought it was really cool, the character development, like the behind of like what casting and we're doing now. Is there some canon mess up? They kind like from the notes. So if you guys don't know, they kind of gave out like the story notes from the first three episodes on StarWars.com, and casting your timeline is a little iffy. Because I know in Rogue One, he said he's been fighting this battle since he was what, 6?
6. But we don't know
Eh,
what that means. Like, I think it just assumes that when he became an orphan, it was 6. And,
yeah,
like,
but
I don't
I get, but we kind of figure out how old he is. We
right.
figured out that he's older because that emblem that we assumed was what was the name
The
of it?
separatists
The
or
Separatist
yeah.
was actually not the
So, well,
Separatist
it's
emblem.
okay, I never read the things, but, like, I watched videos on
Yeah, you
and
watched that video I sent you.
yeah, so, like, they're they said that those flashbacks to when he was a kid on Canary,
hmm
that took place, like, a couple years before the Clone Wars, and so the
hmm
Separatists slash the Confederacy of Independent Systems, the CIS, that was technically started before the Clone Wars because obviously for a war to
Yeah.
start, you have to have that other side. So,
hmm
like, these are kind of like Republic people that are probably just starting the the separatist faction, and so they're
Yeah.
not like officially the separatists yet, but they're kind of
Yeah.
starting it. So, like, that's why Marva was like, they're just the Republic, like,
Yeah.
because they're not separate. So it's like, yes, they're the separatists, but they're not yet, and
Yeah.
it's like, so like the timeline, it's not like messed up. It's just they don't put years on every episode, like, so it's kind of hard to kind of like paste it all together. But I think
Yeah.
it doesn't like mess anything up. Like, it makes perfect sense
No,
once it's
is people are
shown.
just like some people are confused by what he said in Rogue One, but like you're right, Jeremiah. It could be like he's been fighting since he was an orphan. What was he fighting? In his eyes, he's always been fighting pretty much anything that was giving him a lot of like pushback and control. Like
Right.
that's what it seems like. He's always been trying to find himself and be independent and a free person, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So
But a little fun fact thing though from last week's episodes that I thought was cool that a YouTuber went over. So like there's a whole thing where like on paper he's from the planet Fest, and like that's what
mhm.
all of his like legal documentation says. So in the I think it's like the Rogue One, like was it the what's the book called, like the visual guide,
Yep.
like when it has his profile, it says on there he's from Fest. So like it's kind of like on paper he's from Fest, but he's not
Oh yeah.
really. So I think
Yeah.
that was kind of cool that they did that. Like all the official documentation says he's from Fest, but it's a lie. But it's in the.
And
I
but
thought that
even
was.
in the yeah, that's cool. I also liked his gun, casting the gun. We
Yeah,
kinda
I
didn't
guess
go
that's from
over
a
that.
it's from a game.
Yep.
One of the Kyle Katarn used it.
Yep.
One of those old
Kyle
games.
Katarn, and a lot of his character in Rogue One was based off of that character too in the game. So
And
it's kinda
we
cool.
we got other video game references in this episode too.
Yeah.
EU video, a lot of EU stuff, a lot of video game stuff. So we'll get into that. But yeah, I really like this episode. Like, yes, it's slow paced, not a lot of action, but it's like you're just like eager to see what's going to happen next, and there's a
Yeah,
lot of like
it wasn't like
foreshadowing and all this kind of stuff. So
I think episode 1 was very slow paced. This didn't feel that. It didn't feel like
no,
that. It was visually I don't know, something about it was different. Like it was definitely a slower paced episode because they're building up this story, but it didn't feel like episode 1 felt like really draggy. This one doesn't feel draggy at all to me. I really enjoyed this episode. So,
right. So we might as well just go. So I'm gonna. What was fun about this episode is there's like 4 different storylines going on at one time.
yeah,
So rather than trying to go back and forth between all these, I'm gonna kind of just break it up like
per
storyline by
storyline.
storyline.
I think that works better too, and
Yeah.
it makes
So
people
we'll
focus.
start with the opening scene, and then we'll jump into all the separate scenes. So it's them right away leaving the planet of Ferric, ready to escape, and apparently this ship is like super fast because it was able to calculate hyperspace and jump really fast, and Andor like fell back because it was going so fast. But so
I think it
they
was
escape
surprised it went into hyperspace.
like that fast. That's like because he's like,
Yeah,
I've flown these ships before.
yeah.
Like it's what is it powered by? Which
Mhm.
I wonder what that's powered by. Like I don't know if that's we're gonna see later what that's powered by,
A
kyber
droid,
crystals or something. I don't know.
possibly. I mean, he wears one
Yep.
around
So
his neck.
um, Cassian, he starts bandaging himself up with the med pack. Blah blah blah. We learn a new thing, med nog. So apparently you just take it's like their version of NyQuil or something. I don't know. Like takes a
Yeah,
shot of Mednog, um, and so there's kind of like this conflict between Andor and Luthen about like, well, I haven't agreed to join you for anything. I'm just trying to get off this planet, and Luthen's like trying to like tug at his heart, like you are gonna be killed based on how you live life. You're gonna be killed either way by the Empire. So rather than taking little bits here and there off them, why don't you try and take like a big go out with a bang type of thing, like to take them head on and do the most damage possible, which isn't a weird way to have someone join your cause. You're going to die anyway, so let's go all out right at the beginning. Um, but so that kind of like motivates Andor to like buy into the vision of what Luthen is trying to do. But he also we learned some fun facts about Andor's past. So when he was 16, he fought on Mimban, the mud planet, which we see in Solo, which Han fought on as a
mhm.
soldier. So now we know that Andor was only there for 6 months, and he was a cook. That's what Luthen tells. Like,
Yeah, because he was acting like because only 15 people survive or 50 people survive, and he was one of them, and he made it super dramatic. And
he's
then
like,
he
I
was
was
like,
there for 2
"Oh,
years.
hold up, you were
But
not
like,
there that long."
I wonder if Han Solo, and Andor were on there at the same time. Like,
Yeah, was Han one of the people that survived?
yeah,
I
he
guess
was
that
on.
he wouldn't be in
That's
the
what the
count.
whole. That's the mud planet.
No,
Remember?
no, I know, but like I was thinking, would he have been part of that count that survived? But no, he
Oh,
wouldn't have been because they fled.
yeah, and it seemed like I don't know. It seemed like it was early on in Min Man, maybe
Uh, or
because like when
later.
they were there, like it was like full fledged, like nonstop battle, and like Han's like, who are we even fighting? Like it was almost like, why are we even here in the first place? Kind of like they just
Oh
started, maybe.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, Han and them. Yeah, I think Han and them were there early.
so maybe Cassian was there. I think that'd be cool. Maybe we go back and watch
Maybe they'll just like throw
Solo
them
when they're
in.
on Mimban and like see if like when it's like when they're not in battle, like if there's like a cook area, like see if there's some cooks back there, like see maybe one maybe looks like
Oh,
Andor.
I
I don't
wonder if
know,
we ever saw anything.
because like it would just be a background character, like when they're in the base or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a fun fact that
Yeah.
happened.
No, I thought that was really cool, and I loved the fact that he knows so much about Cassian. Like he knows everything about him,
Because like we
and
don't
it
even know who Luthen is really yet. Like,
not yet. It's gonna be
was he?
interesting.
It's like, was he always just this artifact guy, and then
Dude,
he
that
got
whole concept too is so sick, bro. I was like, this is so cool. Like how he was like hidden in
we'll
it's
get to
so
that.
cool to me. It's so cool to me. I don't know
But
why. I just think it's so cool.
yeah, so um Luthen is like, I'll pay you 200,000 credits to join and do this mission that he wants him to go on, because he's like, I didn't come for that Pathfinder or whatever, that Star Path thing that you're trying. I came for you specifically. Like, you're
Yeah.
someone that can join a rebellion and be very useful. And so he's like, I just have one mission for you. It takes place. I just need you for 5 days, because that's when the mission is going to be, in 5 days. And their mission, and this is nuts, is they're going to infiltrate a base and they're going to steal that sector's quarterly payroll. So like, this isn't just this is a little coffee shop in Minneapolis,
And let's
and
rob it.
you're gonna pay 3 months worth of the employee's pay, like when it's whatever amount. But like, this is a sector's worth. Now, I don't really know how
Yeah.
much a sector is, but like when
Like
we see all those officers from the IBS, there's what, 20 of them. So like, if the entire galaxy is broken into 20 sectors, like
I didn't even think about that. That's a
that's
lot, a
like
lot, a lot.
that's probably hundreds of thousands of Imperial soldiers and workers and stuff, and it's all their pay combined for 3 months. And
Bro, that's so much. Well, I
that's
guess we don't know how much
yeah, we
the
don't know if they're
soldiers could
paying
get
minimum
paid
wage or what, but
or under.
even then, like, even if it was like $10,000 worth of like our modern day money times hundreds of thousands of employees, you're in
They
hundreds of
could pay
millions
more
of
than
dollars.
$200,000 for him. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
There's probably billions worth of dollars.
Yeah,
And so
it's a lot.
like, and not I don't we'll get to it, but Mon Mothma is like, I don't have access to funds anymore. Like, I can't take funds anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this mission is what funds the rebellion for the next
It definitely
10
helps.
years. Like, that's how much money it is. It funds the rebellion for 10 years. So I'm
Well, because at a
hoping
certain
that
point, she's not even she gets kicked out and she goes into hiding. So at a certain point, she
Yeah, that
has
happens in like
no
2
funds at
years
all.
from now, or 2 or 3 years from now, like less than that. So
You can tell that the noose is already getting to her, though.
yeah.
We'll get to that, though.
So Cassian has to think about like on their way to Eldani, which is the name of this episode, is the name of the planet they go to, and so they get there, and um, so there's already this mission is already in the works,
Mhm.
and so Luthen lands. He's like, I gotta get you in this group, but I gotta like talk to the lead on this, and her name is Vel. And he's like, all right, you stay in the ship. I got to go talk to her and convince her to take you. And I had a big argument, and I want to know what the relationship is like. Because it seems like Luthen was like, oh, she's in charge. But it was also like, he's also calling the shots. So it's like, what the relationship is. Are they father-daughter? I don't know. Because she's like, I'm not talking about him. No more questions about him.
Dude, and then at one point, he's like, "Look at me," when he,
Yeah,
like,
he yells like
super
this. His
intense.
acting in this whole show is just
Dude,
the
he's
best
so
in
good, dude.
all of Star Wars.
I was
Like
like, "Dude, this boy is good at acting."
this
And
show better
even
win like every
bro, even
Emmy.
the way when he, like, ends up putting on the outfit and he was practicing his character
Yeah, he just
change.
like this changes like his demeanor and like
Oh my god,
smiles and
dude, I was like, "What the heck are we watching?" Like, it's so good. Dude, it just ugh, y'all don't hate on this show, bro. This show is it's different. It's definitely different, but it's good. It's really good. I'm glad that we're getting season 2 before people started watching the show. I just say that much
yep.
because
So
people hate.
Val eventually agrees, and she has to like lie and just say, okay, he's been part of the plan this whole time, and I'm only telling the rest of the team now just for security reasons.
Mhm.
Um, but like Luthen is like, if he quits or like causes a problem, he's just being rented. Like
He's hired.
he's just a
He's
hired help. Like you can eliminate him
yep,
to stop
straight up
if he's
says
gonna
that,
like sabotage the mission. Like go ahead and get rid of him. And so
which I
stakes are
thought was
very high.
pretty intense
Yeah.
line when he
So,
said that. I was like, "Ooh."
but I thought it was funny how so when they're talking outside, Cassian's like looking at in the cockpit, like I could just take this ship right now. But then like the computer system, like the camera looks at him. He's like, "Is there something I can help you with?" And
Yeah,
stops him. I thought it was funny. Like
I thought that was cool
we
because I
don't
was
get
like,
a
"Oh,
lot of humor in the show, and that was like,
is he gonna take it?" And then the droid in the I don't is it a droid or is it the AI in the I don't know. That
it
ship's like a
says
Tesla and the
the
Tesla talked back to him.
yeah, it's
I don't
like the
know.
subtitles give it's like a Fondor something mod, so
Yeah.
it's whatever the AI system is,
He didn't realize it was there essentially.
right? So
Or he forgot that thing was there. And
right,
yeah, that was pretty funny moment.
all right. So now this is kind of where so we've already so that's kind of like the start of this trajectory of this current arc. Um, so what storyline do you want to go off? Do you want to continue this one with Cassian, or do you want to jump to some ISB stuff? Do you want to go to the Luthen Mon Mothma stuff?
Let's do
Or the I guess the short one we could get out of the way is the stuff from Morlana, the from the officers from the first 3 episodes. So
sure,
because it
let's
kind
do
of
that.
overlaps with the ISB stuff.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that and then do ISB stuff.
So, because of the failure of their acts last week,
Mhm.
the corporate officers, whatever they're called, they failed, and that got the attention of the Empire, and now the Empire has come to take over the Morlana system. So they're officially under full authority of the Empire, where they were it was corporate security or whatever it was, like what they call it. And so they were an independent system, like free from the Empire, as long as they kept things in control. But because of this failure, the Empire swooped in, and now the security team is completely dissolved. And my boy, Karn, he got fired, and he
Did
had
he
to
get
go.
fired? That's what happened?
Yeah, because he's like, you don't need to be worried about being replaced because your job is gone because the Empire is here. So he got fired.
Oh, that's what I was confused by
All
that.
those all those officers lost their job. Like the whole security fleet or system of that
Mhm.
system was dissolved because the Empire moved in. So he got fired and he got sent home.
Yep. Well, and I love that the big guy in the middle of this lineup was the guy who was telling him not to go look
Yeah. He's
into
like,
it.
question, sir.
He's
No.
like, I was not even here. Okay.
And then the other guy would like raise
Raise
his
his
hand, like,
hand,
I'm gonna
and then
respectfully ask. He's like, are you kidding
yeah,
me right now?
yeah, which I thought was funny too.
But like I felt bad for my boy.
I definitely did not at all.
He felt because he didn't say a word, I don't think, until he got to his mom's apartment. Like all he said was "mother." I think was the whole only thing he said the whole episode.
And that boy
And so
got slapped in
she got
the
slapped in the hug. But
face.
I'm telling you right now, the old lady in the background,
Mhm.
when the mom yelled at her, "What are you looking at?" And she like jumped back and like got startled. Like that lady deserves an Emmy right there. Best supporting actress right there. That jump was like, oh, sorry. Ah. Like I
She
thought
did
it
good
was
on it.
I
I
thought that
wonder
was
who that is. There's probably some like Easter egg with that lady in the background.
I don't even know if you can fully like see her face. Like it's probably just blurry the whole time. But
Why would
like
she get an Emmy if you can't see her
I
face?
just thought her getting
This
spoofed, being
boy's
yelled
handing
at.
out Emmys left and right just
Yeah,
for
dude.
blurry faces.
so that's that scene and that thing.
So yeah, he gets
But
sent
like
home. Where did he go?
so I assumed it was Coruscant,
Me too.
but like it's probably just the Moana system that he lives in. That's just his home system.
See, I think it was Coruscant, and I think the reason why he got slapped. Now I could be wrong, but I assumed it was Coruscant. For some reason, I also thought he was like part of the Empire now. Like he went to Coruscant, like they shipped him back there for like judgment or something. I was
No.
confused. That's why I was like, I didn't realize that he got fired. I assume that is Coruscant because it kind of looked like it. It was very
Yeah, the white
building.
buildings and
Yes. And then it seemed like he signed up for this job to leave to get out of the house. And he hasn't talked to his mom because he's too prideful in this new job and he wants to like show that he's doing everything perfectly. And then so when he showed up at home, it's probably been a while since he's been there, and that's why she slapped him in the face.
right. But I still think all that could be true if he just stayed in that same system, like to
True.
join the
You're not
security
wrong.
force.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it could be, but it kinda looked like Coruscant.
yeah. So like,
And
it's
the
hard to
way we
say.
got it too was, like, visually, like, right after we saw Coruscant for the first time too,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, it kinda
But
felt like it
I
was
just think it was
intentional, but
weird that he would like someone not from that system would join like that system's security fleet. Like it's like
maybe
someone
that's
from
where his
Coruscant.
dad is and maybe his parents are separated.
I don't know, maybe, but
Because 'Cause it'd be interesting if he's on Coruscant and he bumps into that officer that fired him again. You know what I mean?
that or bumps into Luthen. Like he walks by the art gallery
Ooh.
and recognizes him,
Ooh, see
and
that. Here we
then
go.
like
Here we go.
so because like my question though, what I was gonna ask was like because last week I was like, okay, he's gonna be a rebel sympathizer eventually, and he's gonna join the rebellion type of thing. But I'm like, is that still going to happen? Because maybe he wants to like double down to like go back to being like by the book and like try and save his people by like maybe joining the empire to like protect his home world, home system. And so for him to like find Luthen's gallery and recognize him and then report him, like that could get him like
back
into the
into the.
Empire to like be part of his back to
Ooh,
save his
I like
people in some
that
way.
theory more. I think that
Um,
would be really cool, but
and
I could
then the
also
other
see
officer
him.
from like becomes good, like goes like opposite of what we thought.
Ooh, the other officer the entire time was actually good and let them get away on purpose.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. That's a stretch, but I think it would be interesting. Or he could get turned by Luthen too.
I don't know about that because he wouldn't. Luthen
I
wouldn't because he doesn't want anyone to even join their circle.
Yeah,
So like,
I think you're right. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna find the footage of that shootout, and he's gonna see Luthen, and then he's gonna be walking around Coruscant, and he bumps into him, or he sees, or he recognizes him because that's where he grew up, and he recognized Luthen as like
I don't
that
know, but
dealer,
that's only if he went back to Coruscant. If we went back to
Yeah,
his home
if he's
in Morlana, then the whole theory is
that's
out the
out the
door.
window. So I guess
But
it
like,
depends. Where do you guys think? Let us know where
that's
you guys think he's at.
because it's interesting that like they've only spent like 2 minutes on his story in the whole episode. So it's like obviously they forgot they didn't bring up Bix or any of those other people on Furrick. Like
Yeah, poor
we might not even
Biggs.
see them ever again.
No, I think we'll see that girl again. We have to, right?
Maybe like if
That's
just to
that's
show like
his
the Empire taking over.
that's his ex. Come on, we gotta see her again.
I don't know,
Ooh, true. If,
but I don't know.
oh,
But it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with his character because now I'm like I don't know what he's gonna do. Last
which
week I
I
was like
think
he's
is
gonna
cool.
I know like last week I was like okay he's gonna turn good. Now I feel like he's gonna turn evil, but maybe not. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's that story line. Um, but so that's connected to the whole ISB stuff. So
Yes.
when we go to Coruscant, we go to the ISB, which is the Imperial Security Bureau, right? I should probably know that. Um, but so it's like their CIA, their Central Intelligence Agency, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we meet a female officer named Dedra. That's her first name. I can't remember what her last name was. But we follow her with the ISB stuff. And so she goes in to this ISB roundtable meeting where it's kind of like a status report of like all these sectors and they're just kind of like giving reports and I like the main guy, like the head. I think the actor's just really cool. Like the way like his persona like portrays that character is really cool. Um, but this is like where that brings up the whole stuff on Ferric, and that's what causes the Empire to go like they bring it up. But they mention the stolen Starpath device was found,
Yeah.
and like when she hears that they've recovered this item, like she like head goes up and like starts looking at her computer thing and like okay something like she's knows something, um, and so she goes and researches the file of what happened and realizes that yes, the Starfinder path thing, whatever, was stolen from her sector. It's like okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Like that gives me jurisdiction authorization to like open up this file and be involved in and go into the sector and like try and do my own investigation.
And it seems like she was personally like. It seems like a lot of issues were happening in her sector, but the same
Right,
sort of stuff. Like honestly, it seems like Cassian was stealing a bunch of stuff.
right, because we'll jump in again a little bit. We'll get there, but like so she requests information from the guy who's in charge of the Morlana system or sector, and like she gets denied, and she goes to him directly, like, "Hey, like I have authorization like this, I have every right to do this," and he denies her a second time, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, you've only been here a year, like you're trying to advance your career way too fast, blah blah blah, um, and so there's that conflict. So then she kind of goes to the head guy, and so they have a meeting, the three of them, and she's like, I have every right to this information. I have every right to investigate, and like I've noticed connections between this, and that, like a growing resistance or rebellion of network of something. And the head guy was like, you maybe do, but like it's more of a theory, because she said something like, I have a feeling, and that kind of
Yeah.
like that kind of ruined her argument when she said
Yep.
feeling. She's like, well, when you come back with more like concrete evidence, then we can talk. um and then the other guy was like happy that she got screwed over, and he
Mm-hmm.
leaves, and then it's just her talking with the head guy, and he's like you have a like a hard path ahead of you, because like, the other guy, he's in charge of 6 systems, and he has all of his reports in, and you're in charge of like, he said like it's like 1 or 2 sectors or something, and he's like, your parts aren't even in, you're late, like
Yep.
blah blah blah, like I'm gonna favor him because he's better at his job than you are. But then he did, it was interesting because he kind of was still encouraging, like, but your reports on this whatever thing are like really great, and I'm going to give you more responsibilities in this area. So it's like, I liked how that head guy was like, yes, he's like hard by the book, um but like he's also sees like the good of what she is doing, and like the potential
Yeah.
that she has, and kind of encourages her, like not in a loving manner, but like enough to like show that like he cares about like what the mission is, and if she can actually
Mm-hmm.
fulfill good things, he's gonna acknowledge it. So it is like a merit based thing. Like if you do good, you're gonna get rewarded. If you fail, like, you're not gonna
Yeah.
succeed.
Jerica in this chat said that she reminded her of General Price from Rebels.
Oh yeah, because she was, her whole thing was like she wanted to like take control of that system from Thrawn. I think like she like
Yep.
wanted to build her way up, and that's why she killed Kanan. Spoiler alert. Um, but
Spoilers. Jeez, so
um,
aggressive.
but yeah, that's a cool price.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I really want to know what her character's gonna be, because I don't know. Obviously, she's gonna, I think, succeed at finding this network of whatever. Like, so like because they're not gonna just have her and then she fails and then like that's it. Like I think we're gonna see her succeed in discovering this, have like concrete evidence, um, and then she's kind of gonna lead the charge against, I don't know, the whole Mon Mothma, Andor, Luthen, all this stuff. I think is going to be discovered by her, which
Yep.
I'm excited to see it just for the story. But obviously, like I don't want my rebels to like get found.
Yeah.
Um, but I really liked how, um, at the beginning, how the head guy. Okay, wait, I wrote it down, his name. Uh, Partagraz. That's his name, Partagraz. Um, and so I thought had a cool way of explaining what the IBS is, because Dedra gives like the manual, like to find resistance and issues and rebellions. But
Yeah,
he's
because
like,
she was already like noticing like that's was her parallel. She felt like there's like potentially a rebel thing, a brewing essentially, and the guy kind of brushed it.
yeah, but like but in the original meeting, he's like, well, what are we here for? And she gives the manual definition of the mission statement.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, that's wrong. We are healthcare.
Yeah,
we find germs and sicknesses and diseases early on, so that they are easier to take care of before it gets too big, and then we can't stop it and it kills us, the empire. So I thought that was a really
it's a cool
cool.
analogy. Wow, I can't speak. What the heck?
Yeah, so that's cool. Um, I don't know, I'm just really excited to see this whole IBS storyline.
Yeah. Also, we kind of didn't
Or ISB, sorry, not
ISB.
IBS. That's a
I
whole,
know.
that's a disease.
That is a disease. No, I think what's interesting is we didn't really touch on it, but the visual effects too, like the visual of this scene too, of when they're all sitting around this circular table, kind of like they're all in a circle. Like visually, it felt like you were like in the heart of the empire at the beginning. Like
Yeah, because the
it
last time
was,
the only time we ever saw something like that was on the Death Star in
yeah,
Episode 4,
yep,
and that was in a circle, a little bit. They're different class of people, but
yeah, for
it's the
sure.
same thing where they're making decisions and
Yeah, I just thought it was really cool, and it was a refreshing, but it felt like the Empire, even though it was a different view. It looked
right.
different, but it still felt the same, which was cool. I thought it was refreshing. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and the other officer, Dedra's like rival, his name is Belvin. I wrote that down too. So yeah, so I think that's it for that storyline. So I'm excited for that. Um, I guess we'll do Luthen and Mon Mothma's stuff. Um, so so when Luthen drops off Cassian and leaves, and he goes back to Coruscant, he has to change his persona with a disguise, and so
Hmm.
he puts on long hair, which they got us from the trailer. We thought, oh, it's a
Yeah,
flashback or something.
yeah.
Nope, they got us.
As
They
soon
just
as he went into
his
that thing, I'm like,
disguise
this
was
guy.
good. It
As
fooled
soon as he
us.
went in there and he walked up to that mirror, I was like, "Oh, he's putting on a wig." I said it in the
Yeah,
watch party. I was like, "He's putting on a wig." I knew it, and then sure enough, he did. I was like, "I knew it."
yeah. So he gets all disguised up, and like you mentioned earlier, how he kind of has to like practice getting in character work. Like he changes his posture and
Yeah,
smiles and like does like a little mannerism. Like this is my new persona. Like because they're opposite ends of the spectrum.
100%.
So that's really
Well,
really cool.
okay, I think the coolest thing, what to me shows a good actor, and we've talked about this before, is when you can act by being an actor in a show.
Right,
Like figuring out how to act in a show that you're acting
right,
is so impressive and so cool. And I thought that was really cool how they actually showed that. Like they showed that he was looking in the mirror trying to figure out like he is like, all right, now I gotta put on this face. And like it showed that in a way that was like, oh, he's acting this out. So it made you believe that this is this one character. And this is a separate character that he's acting. But at the same time, in hindsight, like he's acting the entire time, which is really cool to think about. Like if you break down that character, it's like he's acting already. So, but he's acting in a show that he's acting, which is I don't know. I always love when they do that in movies and stuff like that. When they have like like actors portray another actor in a show or something like that.
right.
I always find those movies and shows really fun to watch and stuff. So I thought it was really cool when they did that.
Yeah, and like just him as an actor, like the two opposite characters that he has
Hmm.
to portray. Like they're so different. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like he should be paid double the salary because he has to do twice the work, and it's like
Maybe that 200,000 that he said, maybe that's what he was trying to tell them to pay him for the other part.
he's like, yeah,
Maybe it
originally
wasn't actually that
it
much.
was
Maybe
like
it was only 50.
$50,000,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, man, maybe we should deserve a little more for the extra effort, but
Maybe that he was hinting at the director.
right. So um, yeah, so he goes back to Coruscant, and then he's in his gallery, and his assistant Clea or something like that says Senator Mon Mothma is here, and he says something like, "Is there anything different or new or whatever?" He's like, "A different driver this time." I'm like, okay, so they're both like in on it. They're both know like are watching, and then so Mon Mothma comes out and she enters the store, and he's like, "Oh, you're here to get your husband a gift for whatever Chandrillan holiday you're celebrating or whatever." And so,
Well, Day of Days, which I assume was his birthday.
no, she
The
said it's
thing,
like a Chandrillan like tradition or
yeah, it's called
celebration.
Day of Days,
I don't think it's birthday because it just because she said it was a Chandrillan thing.
but maybe in their they have like 1 or 2 birthdays. Like they don't celebrate every birthday. It's like a certain day. You know what I mean?
I
Could be
get what
like
you
their
mean.
Christmas.
Maybe, but
I'm trying. No, they don't.
but this gallery has so many Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like
Unfortunately, I only watched this once. But I
so
knew when I was watching, like, dude, there's so much stuff in this thing. I have.
so the first time I watched it through, I didn't notice anything because I'm just trying to like pay attention to the
Yeah.
story. And then when I watched it through the second time, I was like pausing it and like looking at each scene. And so the first one that I noticed that blew my mind was, so you know when the assistant takes the driver and shows him some stuff,
Mhm.
on that table there's these big stones. And you remember in Rebels, in the temple, when it's has the father, son, and daughter
Yeah,
like
yeah.
carvings, and it had like the hands.
Yeah.
You see the hand, like the rock, the carvings of the rocks were the hands.
Oh,
So
for
like,
real?
so now there's a thing. That temple was destroyed like after, like this is like 4 years later.
Yeah.
So like we don't know where these rocks came from. So it's not the temple on Lothal,
Mm.
but like these rocks have the hands of this daughter, the father, and the son, right from Rebels that we see. Because like the daughter's like shaking a hand like peace, the son has
Mhm.
like the fist of power, and like the dad's
Yeah.
like
So
that.
they're on
So
it?
so like that's really, I was like, dang, that's crazy. Um,
Yeah,
so like
that
that
is
means
crazy.
because we know that Palpatine in Rebels says he refers to those drawings as the Mortis gods, like he already knew about them. So
Yeah.
like there's other places in the galaxy that have records of the father, son, and
Mhm.
daughter. And so I think that's just a cool Easter egg. Um, also, there is a Twi'lek Calicori, which Hera has in Rebels, like the little family thing where you add pieces to it to like show your family history. So there's one of those. There's Mandalorian art, like a chess piece, like on a table, chess piece armor. So that was really cool. Um, the main one that everyone keeps looking at is like it kind of looks like like samurai armor.
Yeah, the one in the
So
background?
right, so that is Sith armor, which like assassin armor, Sith assassin armor, I think they call it, which is the same armor that Starkiller uses in the Starkiller, the
Bro.
Force Unleashed. So that armor is not specifically Starkiller armor; it's
No.
Sith assassin armor.
Oh,
But the helmet is literally the same exact helmet design that you see in the game.
yeah,
So
dude,
people are
there's
freaking
probably
out
even
about like
more than that too.
yeah, and so um and then supposedly I kind of saw it, but I'm not sure. But like, there's a piece that looks like the mask that Plo Koon wears over his
Mm.
face and on his eyes. Um, I don't know if that's supposed to be Plo Koon's mask that they recovered from where he died, but there's that mask. Um,
He probably has some lightsaber hilts in there.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like the Empire would not allow
True.
lightsabers.
Might be his
um,
private collection. I mean, he
but
had a kyber crystal on him.
right, which we didn't talk about,
Oh
which
yeah,
is a blue kyber crystal. Was a,
Did we skip over
a
that?
we did, sorry, a Kauti signet, and he calls it
Mhm.
a blue kyber sky stone.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like, is it just a
Yeah,
regular kyber crystal? Because it doesn't look like a normal kyber crystal. It's like a long, thin
it's a
one.
little longer, but then the end of it kind of looked like it could be because it was like blue and white.
Right. Yeah, blue and clearish white. So
Yeah. So, but he gave it to Cassian to hold on to
it's
until
like a
after,
deposit.
and yeah, pretty much.
He's like, I want this back when you're done with your mission. But
But
like,
don't. But if what do you say if I'm gone or something, like you can don't if you
he
sell it,
says it's
don't.
worth $50,000.
Yes, don't
He's
take
like,
less than 50,000. He said.
right. But he's like, but I'm offering you $200,000 to complete this mission. So, but he trusts Cassian to like finish this mission and give it back to him. So that's exciting. But like, but Luthen says this crystal is more valuable to me than that. So it's like
Hmm.
there's a sentimental aspect to this. So I wonder like what his connection is to this crystal,
Maybe
who
he
had
got
it
it from a
before him,
Jedi.
where he got it from, if he
Grogu gave it to him.
oh gosh. If we get a flashback and it's Grogu, I'm gonna rage. Like I told you, if
You're gonna
Grogu's in this
rage quit.
show, I'm rage quitting Star Wars. Sorry. Um,
Some people might be happy to see a Jedi.
um, but yeah, so there's the crystal. Um, but when Luthen and my mouth go in the back room, I was trying to look at stuff too. So there's
There's like a half armor plate in there.
there's another one of like the armor, Sith armor things, but also there's uh carbonite like blocks, a bunch of them, and you can only see the front one. It's kind of it's just like a spiral circle. So I don't know if it's like a snake or something of something that they captured a snake and put in carbonite or something. But there's definitely creatures or some sort of living beings that are frozen in carbonite back there, which I don't know what that could entail. And then there
I
was what?
no, keep going.
But then there was also on the shelf. You know, it's too big to be them, but it looked one next to each other. There was like what looked like a Jedi holocron and a Sith holocron, but they're
Oh
like way
yeah,
too
but they're
big.
big though.
They're like
I'm
10
watching it right
inches by
now.
10
Yeah.
inches by 10 inches. Like, so that's probably not holocrons, but it looked like it reminded me of that.
So people, I saw the only thing I saw was someone like circled on that table. There's like a light, like looks like just like one of those like normal like I don't even know what these things like an arm light that like
Yeah,
sometimes like
desk light. Yeah.
yeah, desk light essentially. And someone was saying that it's the same light. They're probably reaching. So just don't take my word for it. But someone was saying it's the same light that was um that they use in Jurassic Park.
What do you mean
Like it
in
was like
Jurassic
a
Park?
hint. So in Jurassic Park, the first one, they had the lights like in the room when they were showing off all the like the new baby the hatchlings
Okay.
of the dinosaurs, and people are saying like that was the light. I think it's a stretch, but
But what's the matter? Like, what is that supposed to be? Like,
oh, they're just because like in Solo
is
there
it
was
could be
like
dinosaurs
Easter
that show
egg.
up?
No, no, no. I think it's just supposed to be like because in Solo there was like Easter eggs of like a bunch of different like what's his name's Indiana Jones like stuff was there in that room.
Oh, oh,
So people are just like I think they're reaching, but people are
yeah,
saying
definitely.
yeah. I was like,
um,
is this a light? Like, how do you guys determine by the color of it that it's the same light in Jurassic Park? I don't know, but whatever.
yeah. So that's all the stuff that I recognized and saw. There was like another one, like the like a dragon snake thing, like that was kind of like
Against the wall or whatever.
no, it
Yeah.
was like in the center room.
Mm.
It looks like I recognize it from something, but I don't know. Maybe it's just
There's gonna be someone breaking down like
yeah,
every single thing
because
in this room.
there's a lot of
Like, what was that thing he
pottery,
was trying to sell her right away in that room?
an Utapaulian weapon.
Yeah, which looked cool.
But also next to that, when he was showing it, there was like a little
A
dagger looking
dagger,
thing.
yeah.
That dagger looked like um, the Green Power Rangers dagger
Dude, yeah,
flute
yeah.
thing.
I was like, "Dude, is that Tommy's flute?"
I still remember that he would play that flute, and then the Zord would come out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like,
You could
those
probably
are
sing that song.
dun, dun, dun,
See?
dun, dun, dun. There you
Yup, you
go.
could. There it is.
So yeah, in this gallery there was like a bunch of like pottery type things, and then there was like jewelry, like big necklaces and things.
Dude,
So
there's so much cool stuff. Will in the
yeah,
chat. It's morphin time. All right, chill. Wrong podcast.
it is more. We'll start a Power Ranger podcast, and
Uh,
there's like 4,000 different iterations of Power Rangers now.
good lord, that would.
But there's definitely a lot of art in that gallery. Speaking of art, we
Oh,
have a little art project that we're working on as a podcast with the fans. And so here's a little commercial break, a little message explaining this project from Lucy.
Hey everyone! Fictional Lucy here, and I'm pleased to tell you that I'm just one of the many characters created in the original Star Wars audio drama some Empire Radio fans made. The story of my friends and I, called the Voicemail Cinematic Universe, played out through 86 voicemails. The problem is, our adventures are only audio. Unless you give us a hand. The goal is to have an illustration for every voicemail provided by you listeners. We're looking for any type of media. Digital art, Legos, painting, photography, anything at all. And don't worry if you're not professional. If you want to see the drama we go through come to life, just click on the link in the description that takes you directly to a Google Doc. It'll guide you through the whole process of creating and submitting your art. Colonel Doss, Will, Darth Daddy, and all us VCU characters can't wait to see what you can do. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, that fiendish Sith Lord, do it.
Do it.
did Lucy play that piano in the background?
No, I added music.
Oh, that would have been cool if she would have done that.
Nope, I added music.
Dang it.
But yes, if you are an artist, please click the link in the description for the VCU Illustration Project. We'd love to see your art for this illustration project because we had a big jump for a while. We had a bunch coming in, and now we're kind of slowing down. We have a ton to go, so definitely check that out. More the merrier. You don't have to be the best artist in the world. If you are the best, we'll take that too.
Sure.
Anyway, back to this episode breakdown. So Mon Mothma comes to talk to Luthen about their rebellion efforts, and so the one question I have: do you trust that driver?
Oh, 100% no.
You think he's a spy?
Yes. Well, I don't know about spy, but they hired, I don't know. It's interesting that she had to get a new driver and she doesn't trust him. So
Right.
I don't know if he's necessarily a spy, but he's not on her side.
Do you think he's gonna turn her in
I don't know if we'll
or
see him again. Like, I don't,
report something? Report
maybe.
Luthen, or I
But
don't
I
know.
mean, they did really good about hiding it. Like, it's not their first rodeo.
Right.
I wonder though, because they're like, oh, she's with a different driver. I wonder if their old driver was in on it, or like
Oh, maybe.
they were able to like communicate with the old driver to the point where it wasn't a big deal.
Maybe.
Like
I
it,
still
it doesn't it doesn't seem like that old driver is like working for her. It was like hired by the I don't know.
So you're saying it's the Imperial Senate appoints the drivers?
Yeah, but by their reaction to a different person, it seems like the other one maybe was like more lenient or like maybe knew stuff already and stuff. So
Right.
I don't know. It's be interesting.
I think he's gonna.
You think he's gonna rat?
I think he's gonna turn her in for something, or report Luthen, or something's gonna go down. So
I like our theory that the thing that's gonna go down is what's his name is gonna find Luthen.
Karn.
Yeah, I like that theory.
I think that'd be cool, but who knows? So when Mon Mothma and Luthen go into back, they started kind of arguing about finances, and so Mon is like, I can't steal money anymore. I can't. Everything's checked. There's spies all over the Senate. I go to the bank, and all the workers there are new, and like everything is changing so fast. Like I can't get you the money. And Luthen's like, well, I'm barely surviving on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's why this whole money heist thing that Andor is working on is gonna be what frees up this Mon Mothma and Luthen and this circle of people to be free from trying to steal money from, like, or I should say, launder money. Maybe is that the best way to do it? Like, take money directly, so they gotta like steal it illegally in another way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's how it's gonna be. I think the mission will be successful. But we'll see. But a big thing though that she says to Luthen is, there's someone else I want to add to our team, to our circle. And Luthen says like, no, it's too hard. You can't do that. But I want to know who this person is. Do you have any theories on who she's going to add? Like, I feel it has to be someone we know.
Agbar?
Admiral Akbar, maybe. I don't know. That's a possibility. Maybe like Dodana.
Oh, maybe.
Like, I don't really know too much about all these people.
Chat, like, help us out. Who do you guys think it could be?
Because there's other people at that in Rogue One, like the whole Rebel Alliance. Mm-hmm. Like, there's the leaders from all the different cells at that table when they're talking about the Death Star plans and going to Scarif. There's all those different people. So like, I wonder if it's one of them from that table, which I believe Dodana is one of them at that table. I think Bail Organa is already in that circle, so like I don't think it's him.
Yeah.
But part of me wants to say it's Princess Leia. I don't know if they would do that because they'd had her in Obi-Wan. It might be redundant to bring her in because she would be someone that they wouldn't suspect. She's just a 15-year-old girl.
I did think it would be Belle though. That was like my first guess.
Who?
Like Bail Organa. That's who I was thinking. Yeah. So it could be.
I think he's already in that circle though.
Jerica's like, what if it's the start of Fulcrum?
It could be, but then that would be Ahsoka.
I was gonna say I don't want to see Ahsoka,
because Fulcrum is in season 1 of Rebels, which is happening right now, like the same time. Mm-hmm. So, like, if it is Fulcrum,
what if we see some Rebel cast in here?
I don't know, like
maybe in season 2.
Maybe season 2 we'll see characters from Rebels.
You know how many more people would regret saying they hate the show if they had some Rebels in this?
But it's like, I don't know. I guess it has to be someone we know.
Oh, for sure. Maybe it's Belle. It's probably Bail Organa.
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one because like he was already doing rebellion stuff a year into the Empire because he's in the Ahsoka novel, and like, he's doing like a lot. Like he's out there. He's like kind of like a Luthen. He's out there doing stuff. Yeah, so like I feel like
maybe she hasn't put Luthen and him connected yet.
I don't know because I feel so.
You know what I mean?
Well, okay, it's a deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith because this actress that plays Mon Mothma played Mon Mothma in a deleted scene for Revenge of the Sith, which we never got in the movie. And so she and Bail Organa are interacting in that scene, if I remember correctly. So, like, obviously that's not canon technically, but it was implied, though, that they were really close during, like, in the Senate working together.
So you think that they would
And
already be working
I can't
together?
remember if they've worked with each other in the Clone Wars, though, because we do see both of them in the Clone Wars, but I can't remember if they ever, like, worked together.
I don't know.
But there's a lot of people, like, there's, I think it'd be cool if, like, Sato from Rebels, like the Asian, like, military guy that was that they had.
Yeah.
I think Sato was his name. Like, he would be cool. Cause, like, I feel
So
like they would.
season 1 of Rebels is going on right now.
Right. So the show is running parallel with Rebels.
Dang, no, y'all hear this first? If you haven't watched Rebels, you might want to start watching Rebels.
I can't
could
remember
tie
if it was.
together.
I think it was. I can't remember if it was season 2 or season 3 when Mon Mothma is in Rebels and she officially leaves the Senate and declares publicly.
I think it's season 2.
I can't remember.
I think.
Chat, let us know what season does Mon Mothma show up in Rebels. But
I do like. I don't know, man. Fulcrum would be cool.
Because we know maybe there's not only one Fulcrum. Maybe there's multiple Fulcrums.
True.
So it could be a Fulcrum type character.
I'm interested this week to go through and see what other people are trying to predict.
Right.
There's a lot to this little episode. Like, I mean, it was a long episode too. We didn't mention that in the beginning.
50 minutes.
It was like, yeah, it was 50 minutes. Like, it was the biggest episode that we got.
Okay, first of all, here's my little rant that they need to get rid of the stupid title screen.
Oh, bro, I said that
30
in my watch party. Like, dude, it's so long.
It's
I was
30
like, okay,
seconds.
I get it that it's cool to you guys, but it's annoying. Like, it just takes forever.
If you skip the recap and like the whole thing where they like do like the flashes of the characters, like the cartoon thing, that plus that title screen, that's the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you have like 7 minutes of credits at the end.
I said that in my watch party, I'm like, dude, this thing was cool the first episode, but now it's not cool anymore. It's slow. It takes forever. Like, that's my one complaint about this episode is that title screen. Like it needs
even
to
if
go.
Because
even Mando doesn't do that. Like Mando, like they like show half the episode and then go da-doom, and then it show like, and it kind of just shows the name real fast. And
that's what if they did that title screen, but with the actual title of the episode, like it'd be okay, fine. It's like, okay, what's the title name gonna be? But now we know what it is every time. It's this stupid logo, like
and it's slow. It's so slow. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
All right.
Jarek has said that in season 3 of Rebels is when she showed up. So yeah, it's a little later.
Now, the only other possibility that I was thinking of could be Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, but we know Saw because they mentioned Saw.
I was gonna say that. So they mentioned Saw, but like I wonder if because in Rebels,
didn't that guy say that like, oh, so are you gonna explain this to Saw?
Saw's team would have killed him, killed the guy that fell asleep. Like I get that, but like in Rebels, there's a scene when Saw Hollow calls in. Yeah. And he and Mon Mothma have a heated argument, and she confronts him about how he crosses the line and kills civilians and all this stuff. So I think it would be cool if she recruits him, and so she like brings him into the circle, but then that conflict arises where they have to separate, and that would add to that story in Rebels. I think that would be cool story-wise.
It would be, but I feel like he's already recruited.
But like you said, he's already been labeled as someone who's extreme, and so maybe. But like she learns that he's extreme somehow.
Yeah,
I just thought it'd be cool if like she hired him.
And if
Then
you
regrets
remember
it.
in the trailer, I'm pretty sure Saw Gerrera's on, like, his people are on that same planet that they're on.
No.
Because it
No.
looks the same in that trailer. It looks the exact same, like very hilly, very green. Like if you remember in the trailer, like there's that guy is standing outside of like that
No,
place.
it wouldn't make sense that they're gonna have 2 rebel cells on the same planet not working together. Like,
That's
I
true.
think he's part of Luthen's like
Oh, for sure.
circle, because obviously that team knows about him, but I don't know. I just don't know who else this person, Mon Mothma, wants to bring in. Well, I guess do you think we'll find out in this story arc, assuming it's only 3 episodes? Do you think we'll get that name drop? Or
Yeah,
do you think that's not going to be till like later in the season?
I hope it is. It would make sense, but I don't know. Luthen could die in the next episode.
Do you
The
think he'll
next 2
die
episodes.
in this
I think he's dead
show?
in the show. Yeah, 100%.
In this season or next season?
I think like I would put money down that he doesn't make it past the next 2 episodes.
Oh, dang.
Sadly.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. Because I think something's going to happen on Coruscant. Something bad.
Maybe. I'm looking forward to the Imperial Senate scenes.
Oh, dude, me too.
Dude, I hope we see Palpatine in the podium. Because here's the thing. Speaking of Palpatine, there's kind of like a hint to that, because so when Mon Mothma at the gallery gets a gift for her husband, like we said, she goes back to her apartment or whatever where she's talking with her husband, and so he planned a dinner party with some of his friends. So I'm assuming he's also a politician. That's kind of confusing, because the people at the guests are political rivals of Mon Mothma who shut her down and resist her. But I forget the name, but one of the names that is listed that is going to be at that dinner. So you know, I think it's just in Revenge of the Sith. But so you have Masamita, the blue guy.
Yep.
And then you have the lady, the bald lady.
Yep.
That bald lady is one of the names that was
read off.
Yep,
dinner. I caught that.
So if she's standing next to Palpatine on this podium, like,
yeah, I was interested to talk to you about her husband.
Yeah, because he's weird. Like,
I
I don't know.
See him.
Well, that's fine.
No, I think he betrays her.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen.
I think he is potentially one of the spies, and I think they separate because of it.
So do you think at this point he knows what she's doing, or do you think she's lying to him about all this stuff that she's doing also?
That's my one. That was the thing I was going to ask you. I don't know. I don't know if he knows what she's doing. Because if he did, I don't think he would invite those people to their house, unless it's one of those things like keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer kind of situation.
I don't know, because like,
you know what I mean. Like it's
it's clear that he knows that she resists a lot of stuff in the Senate. I think he knows that, but he's like, but all these people, other senators and politicians, are my friends that I've had, and I just want to have a dinner with friends and just catch up and hang out. Like, so it's like I think he's more sympathetic to the Empire than she is,
for sure. But it's like one of those things where, like, dude, I don't know. For me, maybe, I mean, everyone's relationship is different, but I'm pretty sure Andrew would feel the same. If your wife doesn't like someone, you don't invite them to your house, and you slowly become no longer friends with them. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Well, okay, you know, but I feel like Andrew would agree with me on this. Like, You like if your wife really hates someone, you're not gonna still be friends with them, even though you've had a long past. It's kind of one of those things where like you're friends from a distance, you'll acquaint like I don't know.
Like their post on Facebook.
Yeah, like you're still friends with them in a situation, but you're not gonna like bring them to your house if your wife hates them. I have a couple friends that aren't really that close to me anymore because my wife's opinion of them. And in hindsight, she was right. So
That's a good answer, honey. You're right.
yeah,
um,
I learned that one. But I'm just saying, like it, like I don't know, because of that, and she was so mad that she was inviting them over. I think she's also really mad too because it's just so much pressure already to hide this secret. And then to bring them into her own home is a lot harder to hide a secret. So I don't know, maybe he does know, but maybe he's ratting on her. I don't trust him, to say the least. I don't trust that
right.
dude.
Do
And
you?
then I love her response. He's like, "Oh, I heard you got me a gift," and then she's like, "I'm returning it." I
Which
was
was
like,
the plan the whole time, but.
but yeah, I thought it was like the way she said it though was a little.
So, do you think we're gonna see that dinner party, like next
Yeah,
episode?
100% because we have to figure out why he's so tense. Like we want to see her interact with those people.
Yeah, I want to see that lady that's Palpatine's assistant, but
It would
like
have been really cool if it would have been what's his name, the blue guy.
Masamita.
Oh, that would have been so intense, dude.
That'd be cool.
That would have been so sick. But you were saying that you hope we see Palpatine in the segment. So I don't want to be a dead horse, but I met the guy in person, Palpatine himself,
Yeah.
and he kind of hinted that he could be in a few upcoming things for
What do you
Star
mean?
Wars.
He said that to you specifically?
No, but he said that
I
in
was
the
like,
panel
when
that
you
he
were
was in.
caught him, found him in the bathroom,
Yeah,
being next to each
but
other.
he said, "I'll see you soon" on screen. No, he said that like that there's a couple things that we may see him in, but he didn't want to answer the question completely. Well, one we
Simon
saw him
Kenobi.
in Kenobi as
We
a
know
holocron.
he's, cartoon version is in Bad Batch season 2,
Correct,
so he probably
but
could voice that. I'm hoping,
true. But did
but
he voice the Clone Wars, Palp?
I think he did a little bit, but not all the time. I
Yeah,
know he was. They took the audio from Revenge of the Sith for
and
season
like
1 of Bad Batch, and
cut it up.
technically he was in there.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Of all the
I think we'll see
cameos,
him.
I want to see him the most.
I think we'll see him.
Like I want to see him stretching his legs in the Senate, like doing
Speaking
his.
of stretching or no longer stretching their legs, we didn't mention the big news that happened over the week too about what's his name retiring as a voice actor of
Oh,
Vader.
James Earl Jones has officially
Yes.
retired from voicing. So I guess this was unclear of if it was true or not, but apparently Vader in the Kenobi series was all computer generated.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like he's accredited as the voice of Vader.
It's like his cut
But
up for his
they
voice.
use AI technology and use like all his. It's kind of like
Oh,
deep fake, but with voice.
you think he just can't do it or what?
Well, first of all, he's like 90 some years old.
No, but he's doing the Mufasa movie though.
The live action one.
Yeah, because he did the other one. He was a voice actor of the live action Lion King movie, and he's doing the voice acting of Mufasa in the other one. Because a lot of people are speculating online that it. So there's a lot of rumors that there might be a Vader show, and the timeline of that is potentially gonna line up with the Mufasa, and he picked the Mufasa one, and that's why he retired from Vader.
He was like one last gig.
Yeah, kind of thing where he's like,
Hey.
I'm not gonna do both. And they're gonna announce if they announce a Vader show, people are gonna be so butthurt if he's not the voice
but
actor.
the thing is, if it was all AI from Kenobi,
They can just do that again.
then like
which
you
they should.
didn't even notice. So like,
No, they should do it again. If that's the case, if that was all voice acting, like deepfake voice, then just keep doing that because I want his voice, and also use that same technology and give us like other voice actors that like Leia. If we get like a CGI Leia or something, like let's get her voice. You know, like I'm down with that.
Right.
So, I don't know. What if we see a CGI Leia in this show?
No, they just hire a 15-year-old girl.
Oh yeah, she's young. I forgot.
She's 15.
That's true.
So, because like, was it? I think it's season 1. I think maybe it's season 2. Season 2 of Rebels is when we see Leia.
Oh yeah.
So we see her for like one episode. So, so she would have been like 16. So she was already in the loop about resisting the Empire.
Yep.
So I guess that I think it could be Leia would be her choice because it would be like someone you wouldn't expect, the daughter of a senator leading a rebellion.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be cool. Like what 15-year-old actress could play her? Like that would be cool. Maybe that Vivian girl has an older sister that could play her.
I don't know. If anything, if we're gonna get 15-year-old, let's wait 15 years or let's wait 5 more years, right? Because isn't Vivian like? Oh no, she's young. How old is Vivian?
She played a 10-year-old, so she's about 10.
So let's wait 5 years and then let's give Vivian a 15.
But like the thing is, like
That's
people like they always like cast like 20-year-old people to play like high school age people, and it just looks stupid. Like,
oh yeah,
Carrie Fisher I think was 19 when she in episode 1.
Yep.
And so like you can't cast someone that same age
to
play someone
that's younger,
especially now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movies where
I just feel a little like, but I do feel like, I don't know, like women looked older at 18 like years ago than they do. Like I see like people and girls in college, like and boys too, guys in college, like they look so young. I'm like,
bro,
they look like routines, man. They look like they're 13 years old, like middle school. But like, so I don't know. Eat your vegetables, kids, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Wash your face at night.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's all. Is that all the Luthen Mon Mothma stuff? I think so.
Yeah.
So now we just have to cover the Andor stuff. So before we get into that, let's just take another commercial break for this last leg of the race tonight. And we have our sponsor for tonight's episode, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea, which when you're leading a rebellion, you need a little extra pep in your step.
Well, they're all tired.
They're all tired.
They're all saying that. Well, they're saying the rebellion people are saying they haven't been eating good.
They're eating roots.
And they're tired. The guy fell asleep, and you know what he needed to stay awake?
A cup of coffee.
Yep.
Or a cup of tea. And no better place to get coffee or tea than Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. So let's listen to them.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right, cool. So Cassian gets dropped off on this planet. And so after Luthen leaves, the next thing that we see with him is him hiking up the mountain with Vel. And she kind of explains more of what the mission is. And so Luthen told Andor that it was just stealing funds from like a facility. But then she says breaking into the garrison, which is a big military operation. And so they start arguing. Like Cassian's like, I didn't agree to this. I didn't know this. This is too complicated. We're all going to die, blah, blah, blah. And as they're arguing, some TIE fighters come, and dang, they were loud. Do you notice how loud that was?
Dude, they were so loud. I was like, dude, this is so cool. I was so pumped, dude.
It was like quiet. You just kind of hear them in the distance, but then right when they come into view, it's super screaming loud. And I thought that was cool. But
yeah, I thought it was sick and it's terrifying. And one of my favorite Star Wars books, they talked about how when they're training to be pilots, they would do those loops. They would do patrols over certain people groups and planets and stuff. That was part of their things. They do their patrols to also terrify. That's why those ships are so loud. The point of it is to terrify the people down below, to show that the presence of the Empire is there.
It's also supposed to parallel Nazi Germany with their fighter jets. Like they would had that sound, that eerie sound, similar kind of like that, where people could hear them flying from miles and miles away, just because they built it into their engine to make an extra siren sound type thing, eerie sound. So,
and
makes sense.
Jerica lost stars.
Oh gosh. But yes, so they're still arguing, but he kind of just shuts up, whatever. And they get to like a spot then where there's those like remnants of like a village or something, like maybe kind of like where there's like tents like at some point, but like just like the frames are left. And so we learned that there was 40,000 people that lived in these mountain areas. That was very prosperous, tons of people. But then the Empire came and pushed them south. And so apparently there's like a booming city and like factories and stuff like that all these people were forced to move into and work and stuff. So like it's nice that they didn't kill 40,000 people. They gave them jobs and provide for them and all that stuff. But obviously, and then we'll learn later, but they're kind of like a spiritual, religious, somewhat type community culture. So it's probably hard for them to be moved to away from their normal living areas for thousands of years, probably. But they said that this planet that they're on, Aldhani, it's not close to anything, but it's not far away from anything. And so like it's a place where they can distribute things. So there's factories and stuff. So it's a hub for distribution, which is, ideal, obviously. And that's probably why there's so much funding at this one facility, is because from there they pay everyone in the sector. And that's why all the money is kind of held there. So
yeah,
that's kind of just a cool understanding of that planet and significance of it. And then it goes to next time we see them, one of the people is from the rebels is sleeping on a patrol spot, and one of the other guys comes in with his gun and wakes him up and, look, you're dead. We're all dead because you fell asleep, blah, blah, blah. And we get the Saw Gerrera name drop there. And then he
Yep.
listed some other names, which I didn't
recognize them.
I didn't recognize off the top of my head. I'm sure there's probably an Easter egg in there too. But they're waiting and they see Vel coming, and they realize there's a second person, and they're kind of nervous about that because they've been planning this mission for 5 months, and a new person has arrived, and obviously anyone would be weary of this. And so then they get back to when they get to the camp, like everyone there is nervous because they see her still coming from the distance, and like, who's this other guy? And they're like, well, we don't know. Well, we thought you might know. And then they walk by some space goats, which was Drew's favorite part of the episode, right?
I literally said that in my watch. I was like, what the heck is this?
Now, here's the thing.
The moon of Endor? Is that where we're getting some donkeys?
That's what I knew you were going to say that. So the funny thing is, those are actual real sheep
Those
that
are
grow
real,
horns
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
They're not like, they didn't put extra horns on. There are some sheep that grow like 4, 5, 6 horns out of their head, and they go random like that. So
it's a special kind of goat. I forget the name of it, but they grow 4. So yeah.
So they didn't.
I know, because one of my favorite YouTubers, they had one for a while.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I understand it's like, it looks like an alien space goat, but like, it would have been cooler if they had an actual different looking creature.
Yeah, they should have just had like some CGI.
Yeah, like they could have added something else, like make them like, at least make them a different color, like make them like purple or
green,
something, like,
or yeah,
like that would have been better. But they took a regular animal.
Yeah, I was like, okay, one of these things again.
Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is. And so we get introduced to the whole team, and so we know Vel, we already know. Then there's Skeen, Taramin, Nemec, and Cinta. And then later in the show, like, their contact in the Empire, who's a defector in a sense, or undercover or whatever. His name is Gorn. So that's the whole team. It's just with Cassian, that's a group of 7.
Yeah, because before Gorn showed up, I was like, there's only 6. Math is wrong. There's only 6. I'm like, who's this other person? And the whole time I was like, is it going to be Sog's crew, like one of the guys, like the main guy that we saw in like the trailer? I'm like, is it going to be him?
Right.
But no, it's just Gorn. Good old Gorn.
So they're
were you
all
scared when he pulled up, or were you like, oh?
Well, one, I didn't even realize it was someone. I thought it was already someone we were introduced to in that group.
Oh.
And then it was another guy, and they weren't scared. So like, oh, it's probably part of the team.
When he showed up on a speeder. But his outfit was like the same outfit that was actually the same trooper outfits that they were using Solo in that mud planet.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was like that weird helmet with like the
goggles. The mud trooper.
Yeah, he had like a mud trooper like looking outfit. It was very similar.
Like the officers, an officer from the Mimban, not the trooper itself. But
yeah,
I don't know. It'd be interesting to look that up. And so he's like the most upset that
he was livid.
He was super mad.
Makes sense because his life, everything for him is very on the line. Like,
right.
He's
the mole.
Well, yeah, and his whole life is stressful. Like, no matter what, you know what I mean? Like, he lives at a higher stress level than everyone else.
Right.
Granted, he's probably
they're camping. They're having s'mores every night. Like,
yeah, like the guy's building a whole display of their whole mission with wood, glue, and that guy was like.
But I bet he makes the best D&D set though to play on.
True.
So let's see. So they're all upset, but he makes a reference that there's a new Imperial engineer arriving. And I'm like, that's an interesting detail. Like, I don't know if that's just to set up like, oh, more troopers are going to be coming with him or something that complicates the plan, or if like this is supposed to be someone we know. Because like, a part of me wanted to say like Galen Erso, but like I don't know if he would be considered that, because there was early on at the IBS, one of the officers made a reference that about Scarif, so there's a Rogue One reference. And then there's this engineer. I don't know if it's supposed to be any connection, but I thought maybe that would be possible. I also thought maybe this engineer is the person that Mon Mothma is trying to add to the circle. I don't know. But I thought it was just kind of out of place that he just stated that this new person's coming.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to make a play out in the next episode or something, but who knows? And so we hear the like the plan of the whole heist thing, and so there's like this opening, like they took over the planet because there's like these caverns that are good for storage. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So they took over that tunnel system, cave system, and they put a dam up on like their sacred mystical river or something, which every time I hear stuff like that, I'm like, is this like a force sensitive, like a high level of the force or something? And so they, in this tunnel system, there's like a train, like I forget I don't know what they call it, like a rail train thing that goes into the mountain, and in there's the vault. And so they're gonna put all the money, all the credits into this train thing and exit into tunnels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that seems kind of easy. And Cassian's like, yeah, that's a stupid plan. Like, they're gonna catch what happens, and there'll be on you TIE fighters in a few minutes, and they got like 9 minutes. We got it timed out. Like, even better. Yeah. Like, and so he's like saying this is a suicide mission. This is stupid. And they're like, yeah, that's the whole point, because like they're not expecting it because it's that stupid. But then they reveal like the rest of the plan, where every 3 years at a very specific moment, there's supposed to be like a celestial event that the people of the planet think is more like a spiritual thing. But like the guy Nemec explains that's just like crystal particles in the atmosphere, and when they're in this spot in the orbit around whatever, it causes them to catch on fire, and then it's just whatever. So it's supposed to look like a huge meteor shower that floods the sky. It's a spectacle. And so their plan is, while this is happening, everyone is going to be looking at the sky. All the Imperial officers, all the troopers, everyone is going to be looking at the sky, because it's going to be this crazy celestial event. And while it's happening, they're going to load up their starship and leave during this, and no one's going to notice.
Which is a good plan.
It is a good plan, and I'm kind of hyped to see what this visual is going to look like.
The sky is going to look like? Yeah, me too. When they said, I'm like, dude, that sounds dope. I want to see this.
Like, it's going to be like fireworks on steroids or something. I don't know. Like,
it's going to be cool, I think.
So that's the plan. And when Cassian heard the whole plan, he's like, all right, I'm on board. It's a good plan.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, like, if you get it wrong at any point, the mission will completely fail. And you're really banking on every single Imperial person to be looking up at the sky at the same. If one person, drops their phone and looks away for a second and sees them going, then the whole plan is ruined. So,
Yep.
do you think they're going to be successful?
I think
I should say this: do you believe the money is going to be that Cassian's going to deliver the money to Luthen?
Yes.
Do you think anyone on that team other than Cassian's going to survive?
I think they'll have a couple of a couple of deaths. Be interesting if that one guy, your favorite character, recognized Cassian in this mission. If somehow he's able to see it, and that's how.
Maybe.
Maybe it's broadcasted on the news.
I don't know. How would he learn about it? That's the thing. Because somehow he has to get back into the swing of things. But he has no clearance. He's not part of the Empire. He's just a 30-some-year-old living in his mom's basement. So I don't know. I feel like everyone on that team is gonna die except for him. I think it's gonna kind of foreshadow Rogue One, where he dies in Rogue One, but he goes on these missions where everybody dies.
Gosh, I think that's depressing.
I really like the Nemec guy, the guy that's kind of I'm hopeful for him. I trust him. He's bought in a mission. He's the only person that likes Cassian and trusts him, and I think he's just a cool, quirky guy. I like him. I hope he doesn't die, but he's probably the first to die. I don't know.
Yeah, probably, most likely.
Or he's gonna be the last one to die, and he's gonna kind of be like Saw Gerrera and his lines what is this? What's the one lines finish the dream, finish the whatever, and then he completes whatever.
He dies.
But I don't know.
Keep it safe. Whatever he said.
And so that's the plan, and then it ends with them at night and around some campfires, and they're eating, and then they give him a data pad, and here's the mission, here's the layout of everything. You got to memorize this. Here's some local terminology and phrases. Learn that. You have till the morning to learn it.
Yeah, you have less than 24 hours to figure it out.
Yeah, so I honestly one of the best moments in the whole episode was when they're all staring at him and he's like, "Can I eat my food first?" Dude, his Diego Luna's acting in that scene was just perfect. Just the way he was looking back and forth, chewing food, and his expressions.
It was pretty spot on.
It was can I eat my food? Can you give me 5 minutes? And that's how the episode ends. And so
the answer was you can, but you got to hurry this up because we got things to do.
Yeah.
This is
the thing is he's eating tree roots. Like they said, that's all they eat is roots.
Yeah. So what kind of food why do you want to keep eating this anyways?
I don't know. It's carrots. Carrots and potatoes are roots, I guess. You can make some
That's a good point. That's fair.
Potatoes and
I didn't think about that.
With some space goat cheese and
some spacey.
Yep.
Yeah, so goat cheese, space goat cheese.
So I feel hopefully next week. I feel like it's gonna be a super short episode, 27 minutes.
Oh, don't say that. I hate that.
And they're gonna have their 30-second intro thing still, and
yeah, 30-second intro for sure.
But yeah, so I'm excited for next week. I think a lot's gonna go down. I think they're gonna start the mission next week, but we're not gonna actually see them do the mission until the third episode of this arc. So
yeah, I think the arcs, I like that they're doing it seems like they're doing 3 things in threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting, and I'm just kind of stressed for Martha. I understand the stress that she's going through in the show already, and we've only got her like a little bit, and there's a lot of stress that's going on in this series, which is really
Yeah.
cool. I don't know.
Cool.
I think it's good. I'm excited.
How many space sheep out of 10 would you?
Space? Ugh.
How many space
None
sheeps out
of
of
those.
10?
But I'd probably give it. I don't know. It's a solid 8.5. Like it
8?
was.
Man, I think I want to give it a 10 just because there's so much stuff.
I
All,
think
like,
if we got a
4
little
different
fighting, it would have been more of a 10.
we got 4 different storylines going on. We
I
got
think it's sick. Don't get me
Easter
wrong.
egg galore. We got so much hype. Like I think I'm giving it a 10 space sheeps out of 10 space sheeps. All right, cool. Anything else before we transition to our final segment of the night?
Trying to think. No, I'm good.
All right, cool. Let's transition over to voicemail time.
It's voicemail time.
All right, we have 5 voicemails tonight. So let's listen to first one from Caden, formerly known as Jedi Master.
Hello, Empire Radio. Caden here, and I just finished watching the first episode of Andor, and it is really good. I like it. But my favorite part probably has to be whenever that Malor Corporation headquarters dude is eating the blue ramen. That probably has to be my favorite part because I just love Star Wars foods, and seeing a new one's always great. And so it got me thinking, what are some other Star Wars foods that you know of, and what would be one Star Wars food that you would like to try in real life? For me, it probably have to be the Melu runs from Star Wars Rebels. So yeah, let me know what you think, and may the Force be with you always.
All right. Thank you, Caden, for that. And he did send us an email last week about his podcast. So it's Ear Doodle is the name of the podcast. So go check that out.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for that. It is a good question. I think I'd agree with him that the Melu run would be a good fruit to try. Because the thing about fruit is, like, if a fruit is like a good quality, it's always like mind blowing. Like a good apple is always good. A good orange is always good.
That's true. You
Like,
can't go wrong with like a solid fruit.
right. So
That, like-
so Melu run, like a good one would be. I'd love to try that. I feel like it's more like a
mango.
like a mango type of fruit, but
Probably tastes like a mix between a mango and like maybe your favorite orange all in one.
Cara
Yeah.
oranges, maybe. But what else in Star Wars?
I don't know. The thing that I always wanted to try was blue milk, and I did.
Gross.
It's pretty good, but it doesn't have any milk in it. It tastes like milk at all.
What else? Like, what is? So we've seen, like, what are some things we've seen on Spit Over Fire? We've seen like Quake and monkey lizards. I don't know if I want to try that.
No, the word monkey is too close to home. I don't want to eat a monkey.
But the lizard, though.
I would eat a lizard. I've had a
you go.
lizard. I would do that. But it's not something I'm like, you know what? I want to try that goat. I would eat that.
Gross. But like, I think I like to try that with a sand whale or whatever that Obi-Wan was dicing up in the desert.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd probably be some good fish.
Chat saying crate dragon.
I don't know.
That'd be sandy, I think.
Yeah, I think you get a sand in your teeth. That'd be gross. I think maybe Yoda's stew that he's making on Dagobah.
I don't know if I want to have
that. Might be nice and hearty. A little rustic. I think that'd be good.
I don't know. There was a snake in it. He pulled the snake out, didn't he?
No, I don't think so.
Oh wait, no, that was on his tray. His tray, that'd be cool. Luke's survival kit tray food. Those sausages.
The little like.
I think you can buy that actually, but at Galaxy's Edge, that wouldn't. There's a lot of like Star Wars themed food.
I bet you wanna try the spatchka. You're a
I had a version of that in. Well, I guess it wasn't Spatchka yet, but I have had Star Wars alcohol drinks.
I just want to try. Again, Dax or Dex, whatever. I can never remember his signature dish at his diner. I wonder what that would be. Whatever that is, I want to try that.
Dude, I need a Obi-Wan button. Obi-Wan.
Oh gosh, that'd be terrible. All right, thank you, Caden, for that.
Yes, thank you.
We'll definitely check out your podcast. I believe it's him and his sister, maybe, that are doing it.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so thank you for that. All right, next one from a first-time sender, someone named Levi. So
wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. I want to try the egg from the Mandalorian.
Jawa egg thing?
Yes.
The mud horn egg?
Yes.
Dude,
a giant omelet, dude.
I don't even like eggs normally, so like that'd be kind of gross.
Okay. Right. Anyways,
you can do it raw like the Jawas?
No. You gotta make. I would make a giant omelet or something like that.
Just get
when you like do scrambled eggs, sometimes people add milk. I would add some blue milk in it.
Oh, gross,
dude. Okay, you know what would be a cool video is one day when we go to Galaxy's Edge, we order a bunch of blue milk and then you bake with it.
Can you get it like in a container, like a sealed container?
You can get it in like I can get in like you can get it in like the giant container thing.
But I mean like a
there's a top to it, and if we
leave is it like away, a bottle? Oh, so it's not like meant to be transport.
No, but we can have like something to put it in.
I don't know. That'd be kind of gross.
Granted, anyway. Orlando's like currently might be underwater right now. So, which if you're in Florida and you're listening to this, our thoughts and prayers are.
If you're listening to this, that means you have
your
self-service or electricity. That's good. So that's a good sign if you're listening to this.
That's fair. But also, yeah.
All right. Anyway, first time voicemail sender, a message from Levi.
Hi, I love your podcast and what you guys talk about. It is really fun to listen to. I want to show my appreciation for Empire Radio because you introduced me to Star Wars books, and I'm reading the Thrawn trilogy, and I just ordered the Darth Bane trilogy. Ooh. And I'm loving the Thrawn trilogy so far, so thank you for talking about the books on your podcast and showing me that. And they're really good. Thanks. Bye.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks, Levi, for sending that in.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe he is reading the original Thrawn trilogy because we did, Andrew did breakdowns of those books for us.
Oh, true. The old school one.
And so then he also the Darth Bane trilogy, which is also the EU also.
Yeah, you're liking the non-canon stuff.
Right, but Levi, we are going to be planning on doing the canon Thrawn stuff.
Yes.
So we for sure in December will be doing the Ascendancy trilogy. I'm going to try and get the second canon trilogy done by then also, so we can get that done as well in December. We'll see how that goes, but check those books out too because I'm doing the Thrawn Ascendancy right now.
If you want to jump in the chat during those ones,
those would be.
Read those.
I'm in the third book of that Ascendancy trilogy, and it's really good. So,
yep,
check those out. I'm doing the audio books too, so it's a little bit more expensive to get a book and the audiobook versions, but
true.
It's
worth it.
It adds a lot of. I really like Mark Thompson's Thrawn voice. Like I was like, is it gonna be the same voice, or is this gonna be some random guy talking? But he does a good job. It's very similar to Rebels Thrawn.
Yep.
So. All right, cool. Thank you for that, Levi. Next question, or not question, voicemail is from Addie.
Hey, Empire Radio, it's Addie back at you with another voicemail. I don't really have any questions this week, so I just wanted to send in a voicemail saying I hope you guys have an awesome day and you guys also like Andor, because me and my dad definitely did. He said it is up to Mando standards, which is very high for him right now. So, but I don't know if you guys agree or not. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome day. May the Force be with you. Bye!
All right, cool.
All right, good.
Yeah, I think, Drew, do you think the show is already starting to surpass Mando, or is it too early to tell?
It's a little too early to tell, but I like it.
I think that's my theory that it's going to be the best live action show. I think it's on that trajectory. I think we're going in a good direction. So
there you go.
I think Mando is going to be in the mud pretty soon. But
okay, chill. Just because he fought a Mudhorn doesn't mean he's going to be in the mud.
He's gonna
get
eat
some eggs
by something. But
yeah,
yeah. So that's cool that you watch with your dad.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's enjoying it too. Now I'm not gonna watch. So this is kind of funny. So sometimes when Addie emails us, like she uses her parents' emails, and I'm not gonna say her dad's name,
but you know it.
But her dad's name is the name of an actor in Star Wars movies. So,
maybe she has a connection.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
If so,
have your dad send in a voicemail, Addie. That'd be fun.
That'd be dope. If that's true.
Right. All right, cool. Thank you, Eddie. We love to hear from you. Awesome. All right, so we have 2 from Will. Now he's gonna say he sent in 3, but Will, I'm gonna not play the first one because that's just you saying Anchor sucks and doesn't work well. Hopefully these voicemails come in. So I wasn't gonna play that one just because it was kind of filler. Sorry about that, Will. But you did send 2 other ones, so we'll play those. So first one from Will.
Hey, Empire Radio. Will here. It's almost fall. Or it is fall.
It is fall.
Depending on when you're listening to this, it might not be fall at all.
Is that supposed to rhyme?
Well, for the listeners, that is. That listen on Spotify. I know I, myself, wait until Sundays to listen to the episode on Spotify. I actually listen to it multiple times because my shift goes about 6 hours, and it's very entertaining, especially with all the other podcasts that are around, which I thoroughly enjoy as well. I don't really have any other messages besides that, besides it almost being fall, it being fall, or it past fall, and me enjoying the podcast.
All right, thanks, Will. So yes, it is officially fall.
It is fall, and this morning was a little nippy.
It was nice this morning. It was 34 degrees. It was very nice.
Okay, nice is aggressive.
Right now it's 48 degrees. I just love cold weather. It's great.
I have 49 over here, though.
Well, you're in a different city than me, so I got St. Paul.
10 minutes from your house.
Yeah, South St. Paul, so that's a whole different city. So
literally 10 minutes.
And you're way closer to the river than me, so that changes things. I don't know, but
tonight it's gonna get down to 35.
Ooh, exciting! But let's see. He'd mentioned about listening to the podcast on Sundays, which is funny because so when I uploaded these episodes for the podcast, I got them up on 2 on Wednesday night, and then the next one on Thursday night of last week for the 3-episode premiere. And we weren't getting a lot of listenings. I was like, dang it, why aren't people listening? But then, so I looked at the numbers on Sunday night, not a lot of people. And I'm like, okay, people tomorrow, they're going to go into work and they're going to put on the podcast and there's going to be a ton of listens. So on Monday, I checked the numbers and we jumped way up. So
yeah,
people have been listening when they go to work.
It was. I feel like it was probably a lot too to come out at once. So
yeah,
people,
a lot of people
takes
probably
a
didn't
little-
even get to watch them till the weekend or something. So
Yeah. So earlier, this was actually off because it was during the commercial. But Tanner sent me that. He sent me the photo of that armor suit. But I forgot he sent it to me in a group chat with Andrew, and Andrew just was like, "Dude, I haven't watched that episode yet." So Tanner spoiled that scene for Andrew, which I kind of think is.
why is he in a
We're in
group
a
chat?
small group chat, but I think that's kind of funny that
Is it on Instagram or is it on text?
it's a text
Just
chat.
3 of you, or is there other people?
It's just us 3. But I think it's kind of funny that Tanner spoiled that for
Well,
Andrew. Because Andrew doesn't
well,
have
he
responsibilities anymore.
he spoiled Ahsoka for me
Exactly.
in Boba Fett, so
True. So
it all
a little karma
plays out. But
and he's not gonna listen to this, so it's
yeah,
okay.
we can talk about Andrew all we want. He's not gonna listen to this. But yeah, was anything else in that first voicemail from Will?
No, just that it's getting cold because it's fall.
All right, cool. All right, one last one from Will, and then that's it for tonight.
Hey, Empire Video. Will here. I have another, I guess, message for the community. Join the Discord.
Do it.
You know, we've had a few people join here and there, but like, come on now. Let's step it up a little bit. I want to be able to use the who talks first, you talk first, I talk first GIF a lot. I mean, no pressure, of course, but we would really enjoy to have more of this community in the Discord. Not because I want more people to annoy. No, not at all. I just love this community. But seriously, join the Discord.
Yes, join the Discord. We haven't had a lot of people join a lot lately, so like we're in this like groove where like we have our solid group of people that are always there,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't gotten any new people really in a lot. We got a couple like last week, I think, but
there you go.
And remember, when you join the Discord, you gotta say you like or you accept the policies, and it will let you into the whole thing. I think a lot of people join, and they just see like a bunch of blank text things, and there's nothing there for them to click on, and they don't interact. So you click that you agree to the rules.
Click the rules, and then you
that
can see
automatically
the
opens up everything else in the Discord, and then you can.
True. That might be something good to mention to people, because some people might be like, "There's nothing in this Discord. What are they rambling about?"
And I know Will sends people DMs like when they don't respond or accept right away. But yeah, so we love to get some fresh faces in there, some new perspectives on Star Wars.
Dude, it's always... and also, whatever happened to these memes, man?
Yeah, back in the day, dude, when we first started doing just live streams and doing stuff like...
We had memes daily.
We had like 20, 30 memes in the meme channel about us talking. Back. Like, those were the days. I finished recording, go into the meme channel, and there'd be all these jokes about us from what things we said in the podcast that night. And
yeah,
those were the days. Come on, chat. Make some custom memes making fun of us, like the good old days. But if you want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. The links.co/Empire Radio. That goes to a landing page, and there is a link to be invited to the Discord. Click that, and you can join the Discord. But also in that link is for all of our socials, so Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel. If you are only listening to the audio version, we do video versions on YouTube, and we also do the live streams on Twitch. So there's links for that as well. And we are also part of the needlesslynerdy.com podcast network. And we got a new person from our Discord. One of our fans started a podcast, and Darth Bane, I believe it is, in our Discord, started his own podcast, and he joined a network as well. So that's going to be cool. It's called the Franchise Den, I believe. So go check out that podcast. And yeah, and also if you're, like we said earlier in the episode, if you're an artist, click the link for the VCU Illustration Project. That'll be really fun. And there's a fan email also in there. Click that if you want to send us an email. I respond to those pretty quick. I try to at least. So join that or do that as well if you'd like. Anything else, Drew?
No, I think that's it. I'm
All right,
excited
cool.
for next week. I think next week we're gonna get some fun new stuff going on in the galaxy, and I'm excited, and I think it's about to go down.
I think we're gonna get a big name drop, and I think we're gonna see our boy Palpatine next week.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be sick. So yeah, I'm excited for next week's episode. I think it's gonna be good. So make sure you guys tune in for next week. I'm excited.
Yep. All right. Well, you've been listening to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.